You guys have had some success against this team, one of the best in the league. I mean, what do you expect from them to
I don't know. I don't know what the exact numbers are. I know one thing: if you don't come in and bring your hard hat and boots against this team, you're in for a long night because they do a great job of controlling the paint, dominating the paint. I thought in our place in Toronto, we did a good job of battling Zach and Gasol in the paint and protect the paint. We only had 8 turnovers, and one thing: if you rebound, do a decent job of defending them and don't turn it over against this team, you put yourself in position to win. Doesn't guarantee a win, but you put yourself in position to win.
You know, they had Jeff Green. I mean, what does that do for you?
Well, he's a proven player in this league that can stretch the floor, can post up. You know, the key thing what they've been using for is the post-up option and the third post-up option with Gasol and Zach, which against certain lineups could be tough for us. But you know, he's a proven player that they've added to their roster.
Dwane, how big could it be that Jonas didn't log a ton of minutes the other night and, you know, kind of maybe rested a little bit coming into this game?
I thought it was great for he and DeMar. You know, we didn't, you know, and we had a tight 4-man rotation with our wings, but none of the wings really logged a lot of minutes, you know, and I thought that was important. It's important for Jonas, like you said, coming in tonight. But again, this time of year, something on everybody's body is hurting. So we can't use that as an excuse, or anybody use an excuse of worn out. DeMar kind of rejuvenating himself after being out for so long, probably only one. But, you know, we have to, you know, put ourselves in position energy-wise, focus-wise, and, you know, because, again, that's been our biggest bugaboo, you know, during this tough stretch is, you know, getting the energy, getting the focus, and getting through the malaise of this time of the year that everybody in the league is going through, but the teams that are serious about winning fight through it.
You got to it a little bit earlier than normal. Usually it's 2 weeks before the All-Star break. Are you concerned that same malaise is going to hit at that time too?
Well, I hope not. No, I hope not, Doug. And, you know, again, I don't know if us shooting out of the gate, we're so jacked up coming out of the gate, but again, it's not the reason why it's not an excuse. I think the whole month of January, usually it's the last 2 weeks, but I've seen the whole month of January be a tough spot. But again, everybody's going through it as part of the NBA, the part of the package, and we've got to find a way to fight through it, and we're going to. And you know, and as a group, I like the way they came through last night. Even in the New Orleans game, I thought we tried to bounce out of it energy-wise, focus-wise, and we didn't close the deal, but I think it's when it started in that game.
Hey, Dwane, what makes January such a tough month? It's kind of widely accepted that it's the most difficult month.
It shouldn't be accepted, but it's understood, I think, yeah. But it's the history of the NBA. I've been in it for a long time. It's kind of you know, you've been going for a while. The All-Star break is coming, but it's not close enough to relax. You know, body-wise, physically, I don't know if it's just that number of minutes you put on your body or number of time you've been going to practice, on the plane, on the bus, in the hotels, whatever it is, it kind of just accumulates in the month of January. Again, as part of the league, you got to understand that mentally and be mature enough to handle it and fight through it.
You mentioned all the pressure on the team lately. I mean, have you noticed at all any of it lifting a bit with that win the other day? It's too soon to tell, kind of?
It's too soon to tell. We'll see. I mean, again, it's a long season. One game doesn't make you, doesn't break you. You know, a couple of weeks, tough couple of weeks doesn't make you or make you. So, you know, we've got to get consistent, whether it's, you know, this game, next week, or whenever it is. We've got to build to a consistency, Ryan. So we'll see where we are.
I'm sure that the consistent effort wasn't necessarily where you'd like to see it in terms of start to finish the other night, but is that the sort of win that you'd almost rather see a defensive type win rather than trying to outscore teams?
I thought that was a grinded out type game, grinded out type win that you got to have when you're not shooting the ball well. Is particularly playing well offensively, that you got to find other ways to win, and it was good to see. You don't want to make have the rest of the season that way, but it's good to have that game. And this team tonight makes it a dirty, grimy, knock it out, drag down game. So this is another great test for us. And again, this is what we've been trying to build, that type of playing personality where you can grind it out when you're not shooting the ball well.
Is this the sort of night, given the style of play and the opponent, where it might be helpful to have somebody like Chuck available on the bench?
Yeah, it is. You know, Chuck did a good job at our place against Gasol, and Zach got a charge, got a couple of good rotations, forced those guys off their sweet spot. You got to have that bulk. You got to have that old man strength to make sure you get those guys off their spots, get rebounds in the paint, because it's a grinded out, knockdown game inside.